Welcome to the Comix Corner Podcast with B-Lar and Danny P.
Hello, everybody.
We are brought to you by the CLZ app and are part of the SPDM Crew. Please check out our website at SPDM Crew. We are adding new podcasts all the time. This week on the show, we are talking about what we have read, what we're looking forward to, new ones that hit the shelves this week, January 22nd. Danny, how are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Dealing with the cold, but the sun's still shining, and still a little devastated from Lions' loss, but that's how she goes. So this too shall pass. But besides that, so far, great start to the week here. How about you?
I'm doing good. It's been cold for a while now here. I can't believe in Michigan, they're closing schools yesterday and today. So teachers enjoy that. You got a 5-day weekend because of the cold here in Michigan, but things hopefully will warm up tomorrow, Thursday. New books, we're looking at, the holiday, the Martin Luther King holiday caused some issues again, Danny.
Yeah. So this week we'll be getting new books from Lunar on Wednesday, and we'll be getting new books from Diamond on Friday.
Okay. So I know you usually, the Lunar books, are they going to be showing up sometime for Wednesday, or they're
they're already good to go, and everybody's boxed this
great.
morning, and yep, I already did the video and everything on the Facebook. So
always got to check those videos out.
Yes,
see what Danny's talking about. So anything jumping out at you this week that you read this week that you'd like to talk about today?
Just because I'm sitting inside a little bit more, reading a little bit more, so. Started with Archaea does a lot of the Jim Henson stuff. They've been doing a cool one with Labyrinth, and now they've added on with Jim Henson Presents. So just a mini series with it's amazing all the companies, all the different anthology series they have out right now. But they had one that had a Fraggle Rock story, a Farscape story, and a Dark Crystal story that's going to continue in some of the other issues. But that if you were a fan of any of those vehicles, those were all very cool stories that were in there. And then Daredevil Unleash Hell had this awesome villain Muse. They have Elektra. It's one of those red band, so it's a little bit more intense. But it was awesome seeing her action, just a bunch of fighting going in there. But the Muse finds somebody to listen to him, and just some very horror movie, great gore stuff going on in there. So I love the start of that one. The one I grabbed was Dynamite, and I've been getting Purgatory since the 90s with Chaos Comics but I don't know if I've ever read one. I've always loved the design of the character and all the covers and everything, but it was awesome. It was another one that just felt like a horror movie. These people are rocking it out on the beach in like the 70s, and they pick up a hitchhiker. One of the people pick up a hitchhiker, and she's not who she seems. And by the end, we get Purgatory, and just very cool all the way around. Just from beginning to end, had a very Texas Chainsaw vibe to it. And the last one was I've still been loving Amazing Spider-Man, and just very curious about where this is all going to end, because they're allegedly going to kill him in the last issue, and then we get a whole new number one by Kelly and Larraz coming up here in a couple months. So 65 point deaths was the number of this issue, and it was just kind of a one shot of Coulson trying to get Peter Parker's head back in the game as he keeps on dying and coming back and fighting all these badass villains. So it was a pretty cool one off. Sometimes I don't appreciate when they do those, but I like this was a cool story, and I like they got Coulson back in the Marvel universe, so it's cool checking him out. But those were the main ones I got to grab to this week that really grabbed me. What about you? What'd you check out?
Going back to your Purgatory, is that, and you said Chaos, that was like Lady Death?
Yep, all part of that. Evil Ernie, yeah.
Yeah, Evil Ernie. That was who I couldn't think of. Evil Ernie was the big one, yeah.
Yeah, so
cool.
Dynamite has it now, has a property now, and yeah, very cool. At least for this first issue, it was very good.
Do you need an easy way to catalog your comics? Try the CLZ app. You can scan a barcode with the built-in camera scanner with a 99% success rate. You can find the series by title, or you could search a specific issue by title and issue number. Or the latest feature, you can scan the cover with your camera. That's right, folks, you heard me correctly. All you need to do is aim the camera from your cell phone at the comic book, and it will scan the cover and input the information right into your database. The CLZ Core Online Comic Database automatically provides cover art and full comic details like series, issue number, publisher, plot, creator list, character list. The details go on and on. It will automatically provide key comic information like first appearances, deaths, cameo appearances, iconic covers, and origins. You can edit these details from the CLZ core, like the series issue number and variant description, and add personal details like storage box location, comic book grade, purchase date, and prices. You're able to try the CLZ app for free for 7 days. After that, it's just $1.99 a month or $19.99 a year. That's right, folks. Free for 7 days as you catalog your books using one of the 4 ways to input your information. You can download the CLZ app anywhere you get your applications. The CLZ app is a proud sponsor of the Comix Corner Podcast with B-Lar and Danny P. And now back to the podcast. Gotcha. All right. So I dove in and took the plunge, and I got Ultimate Wolverine #1. Now, question for you, because like I said, haven't read any of it before. And one thing Marvel does do that I really enjoy is they give that like kind of brief synopsis of what's been going on when you get to that first page.
Yeah.
And it said something about the maker created this universe. Who's the maker?
The maker from back in the day with the original Ultimate Universe is Evil Reed Richards.
Oh, okay.
So they had him kind of do a game of chess going around and changing in a storyline called Ultimate Invasion, kind of, moving different parts of Peter Parker not getting bit by the spider and things like that to change the whole universe into the image that we see now with Wolverine being his assassin and things like that.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I really liked it. Colossus Magic and Omega Red are running area in, looks like Asia, and Wolverine is really their winter soldier. So I like how they put that twist on it. And they send him to go kill Mystique and Nightcrawler, and actually Nightcrawler recognizes him as Logan, but they don't call him Logan anymore. So yeah, really interesting stuff. Looking forward to continuing to read it. Didn't do me so well that I'm going to jump in the Ultimate Universe full feet, but yeah, I'm going to continue with this Ultimate Wolverine. But it was funny because I saw some of the ads for it and stuff, and people were like, oh, 12-issue Winter Soldier story. I was like, oh, so they're doing a Winter Soldier backup story or something? Then once I read it, I figured it out. So Green Lantern, Fractured Spectrum #1. Really interesting stuff here. I was off when we talked about the fractal lanterns before, and I thought it was more of the Green Lantern's able to use different emotions, but it's actually they're using different emotions and creating new the people that can use them. They're not really lanterns, but for instance, Carol Ferris, she was going to get married, and then Hal shows back up, and her ex, she like leaves him at the altar almost basically, and he gets very sorrowful. So now he is a sorrow lantern, and he wants to create a power battery for it. So now that they're talking about these different emotions besides the ones that they've had previously, like rage and fear, and now sorrow is one. And he stole the book of Oa, and he's looking to build his own power battery, and that's the kickoff for the new storyline with the Green Lantern Corps. So pretty cool. I like it. I like where it's going. Artist for it was great. I can't not coming to my right now, but the artwork for that issue was really good. So pretty happy there. Also read G.I. Joe #3. We got Clutch is alive. He infiltrated Cobra. We got Cobra's trying to kidnap a doctor with brainwave technology, and I'm like, Dr. Mindbender, but they called him Dr. Viper. So, but yeah, the Crimson Guards trying to kidnap him, and Duke, Baroness, and Risk show up to save them. And we got a last panel with Zaymot and Tomac showing up. So love those twins from back in the day in the cartoon. So pretty cool. And then Lara Kinney, Wolverine #2. Daredevil and Wolverine are trying to stop a bombing at the anti-heroes rally in New York City. The kicker is the bomb is a mutant from Logan's past, and his mutant ability is to explode. So got a lot of things going on in that issue. They had the obligatory Daredevil Wolverine chick fight, which was pretty cool. And it still boggles my mind. Luke Cage is the mayor of New York, but they were the protest had to do with the anti-heroes, and he repealed some legislature against superheroes. So they were trying to get him to stop the rally, and he was like, hey, I can't, people are allowed to protest even against me. And So it was pretty interesting. I'm liking where they're going with that.
Yeah, and that's cool because they actually brought that up in that Daredevil Unleash Hell too. So it's cool when they kind of push
Oh,
the
okay.
continuity like that. So yeah, they brought up that very scene. So
Yeah. And, I wasn't reading when they had Elektra become Daredevil. So it's one of those, I'm just going to have to go to Wikipedia and read about it or get a trade paperback at some point. But
Daredevil 25. They had it that Murdoch went to jail and that she took over. Was
okay.
pretty much the easy way to say it.
The short version.
Yes.
But yeah, Elektra's always been a favorite character of mine. I think I'm the one guy who liked the Elektra movie. So what are you looking forward to this week, Danny?
The list was a little bit shorter this week, but a couple Marvel ones. The Straczynski, you were saying that I didn't realize that this is actually going to be a couple one-offs, but he's doing a couple of interesting crossovers. So the first one's Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon, and for some reason Doom goes to Rocket for help, and that's the start of a story I'm sure they're going to come back to. I really like that TVA #1. They brought in a little bit of the Loki television show and its own thing in the comic book, and this has Gambit and Spider-Gwen running around, and they're bringing Son of Satan into it. So I really liked that they kind of had deep cuts there with some of the different characters they had in there. You don't see Son of Satan all that much. And Wolverine Revenge, we finally get the next one of that. I enjoyed the first three of that. So that's been really cool. Capullo's art and just great storytelling. And we finally get #4. And the last one was a new one from Massive, which Pinup Apocalypse, which is it's supposed to take place in the 1950s with kind of sci-fi horror tropes of two pinup girls taking on zombies and aliens. And pinup girls, zombies, and aliens, you got me every time. So I was excited. That has some great covers, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty cool read. But those are the ones that definitely grabbed my eye. What'd you see?
Yeah, the going back to the Doctor Doom Rocket Raccoon, I saw it's going to be 6 issues, and it's J. Michael Straczynski's writing. I don't know if they're doing a different artist every time. I think this is this Gary Frank is doing the Doctor Doom Rocket?
That would be awesome. It is incredible artist.
I know he's doing. I saw one of the covers, but not sure.
Yes.
But yeah, I saw they're doing like Volstagg and Captain America, and then this one, and I'm not sure the other team ups, but they're team ups that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's something to look forward to. And that guy Straczynski, what a writer, man! The stuff he's done. So G.I. Joe, I know I talked about the Energon Universe G.I. Joe, but I decided to start reading the G.I. Joe Real American Hero also, and issue 313 is coming out. We got a Destro versus Cobra Commander for the right to lead Cobra. Larry Hamm has obviously written the book for 300 issues, and he continues to write strong stories. Black Canary, Best of the Best, #3. This is round 3. Here we go. This has been another Tom King classic story. He's just such a good writer. And he's not only dealing with, what's in front of us with the fight between Shiva and Canary, but dealing with her relationship with her mother. Her mother has cancer. She's gone to her to help her train her to fight Shiva, and just what she's putting her through. And the Dark Knight shows up to talk to her before the fight with Shiva. I'm guessing to try and talk her out of it. But Black Canary's a hard-headed woman, so that's not going to happen. Ask Oliver Queen. And a Power Rangers Prime #3. Dan, I think you actually recommended #1 when it first came out. And I, jumped on it. My buddy of mine, Mike Wilden, he is a big Power Rangers fan. So I kind of started reading it in honor of Mike. And it's been so good. Wow. The story's been good. It's developing really well. They're changing the Rangers. We haven't seen very much of them yet, and they're going to bring in some ones from different groups. I'm feeling Rita Repulsa has shown up and does not look like the repeat Rita Repulsa that we've seen in the past. But this issue, they head to a museum that's filled with Ranger artifacts, looking for some things, and Rita Repulsa shows up there. And they're already releasing, I think, a 3rd print of #1 is supposed to come out, a 2nd print of #2, and the publisher sold out of issue 3, and they're talking about a 2nd print for #3. So people have been enjoying the book. So new #1s for the week, not a big list. So Keen Spot is doing Papa Duke #1. Marvel Besides Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon, we've got What If Galactus Transformed Rogue #1, Massive the Pinup Apocalypse, and then Valiant Entertainment Resurgent of the Universe Finale #1. I tried getting back into it, and it was a tough read, and I'm going to pick up the finale of it just to make sure, see where it goes, but it didn't jump the way I was hoping it would, but still like all the characters that they're using. And I picked up the Bloodshot one last week and just haven't had a chance to read it yet. So Danny, what do you tell me about? Well, let's see. Let's talk about the subscription club. That's what I meant.
As always, we do every week. You got to come with a different way to ask, right?
I know.
We do this every week, but yeah, it's for a couple more weeks here. We got it at least till January 30th. It's free. It's you get 25% off the titles you're on and 10% off what you grab off the racks. You can do pre-orders and make sure you get the books you don't want to miss out on. We got Batman Hush sequel coming up, Amazing Spider-Man, all of the Ultimate titles all the time, and sometimes it's hard without a crystal ball to figure out what variants are going to work. So if stuff's coming down the pipe you want, we can order it for you and make sure it gets in your box and you don't miss the thing. So we got that going on. And for this week, remember again, we got New Comic Day Wednesday and New Comic Day Friday. So stop on by. We're open 7 days a week. We buy comics, and it's always fun to come hang out.
Absolutely. And you know what? There was something. I knew there was something else I wanted to ask about, and this would have gone more with when we were talking about the comics and things like that than our wrap up. But so I've seen some people online asking about you see it right now with the Batman Full Moon, that white piece of paper that's getting clipped to the cover to protect it because it's got the glow in the dark stuff.
Yeah.
And people who are collectors are saying you have to leave it on there. And people who are just like, no, if I send it in to get graded, they take it off for the grading process. So what's your opinion on those? Is it just a protective thing, or is it just whatever floats your boat?
It depends what you're doing with the comic book. If you're a reader and you're just keeping it for your own personal collection and you look at them, I think it's all right to take it off, especially if you're going to bag and board it, because the whole reason for that is to protect it, But yeah, if you're a guy who sends things in, or gal that sends things in, I'd keep it on there. That's at the store. I keep them on there because I don't know the answer to that. I have a beautiful All-Star Superman #1. That's a 1 in 100 that you can't see how beautiful it is because it's got one of those white covers on it. But I just don't feel, if you want to truly get into the conversation, that would make it incomplete. But I don't know what I'm talking about, so I could be totally wrong. That's how I see it. That's how I think most people would say at the end of the day. So that's what I
hear you. I'm of the mindset of, it doesn't hurt to leave it on there. It's not when I put it away in my comic collection, I put my books away alphabetically. So I'm pretty sure I can figure out what it is pretty easy. So,
yeah.
But I'm with you. It's I leave it on unless, there comes a reason to take it off, but I don't really have a reason to take any of them off. So, well, that wraps up another issue of the Comix Corner Podcast with B-Lar and Danny P. We are part of the SPDM Podcast Crew and like to thank the CLZ app for their sponsorship. Please check out the CLZ app when you get a chance. Please check us out on social media at Comix Corner Podcast on Facebook and Comix Corner Pod, all one word, on Instagram. And as always, comics is with an X. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
Read well, everybody. Be safe.